Hello everybody, I am Jmulls of Jmulls Gaming, and I have beaten the DLC for Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. So let's make a tier list of the bosses. We're going to do this on enjoyability. How much do I like the fights? We'll take difficulty into account, but it's gonna be mostly about how fun the fight is. And we're gonna go in order here. So let's rip the band-aid off and get right on into this. And we're going to start with Dancing Lion. This fight, I think Dancing Lion took me the longest of any of the fights in the DLC. Because I'm pretty sure it took me about 8 hours. I struggled with this fight for no reason. But I love this fight. I think it's a visual spectacle. As an introductory fight to the DLC, I think it does an amazing job. I love the visuals of it. The location of the fight is great. You combine that with the different elemental phases, all doing roughly the same mechanics, but with a nice twist based on the element. And it's great. I think it's a really good fight that puts you in the mindset to fight the rest of the DLC. Now, Rellana, the Twin Moon Knight, for me, is an easy S tier. Easily one of my favorite fights of the DLC. Very simple. The mechanics aren't too complex, but it's a great dance. And I love the Phase 2 transition, emulating Pontiff Sullivan. You know, Sully from Monsters, Inc. The magic and fire sword is great. The mechanics are fun to learn and to counter. I will say, I don't know how you're supposed to do this fight if you're not lightweight, because when I tried medium, well, you could do it with a great shield, obviously, as you could with like all these fights, but whenever I did it with medium weight, she would always have a counter if I tried to dodge out. She could do that dash move to try and cut you off, but if you're lightweight, you dodge right out of that, so you're fine. But God, when she busted out the Twin Moon ability, I wish the sorcery was better for that. But good God, is it a cool mechanic just visually. It's really easy to counter, right? All you do is jump it, but it looks so good. I really love the flow of Rellana, so she goes an S for me. A Golden Hippopotamus is, in my opinion, a fine filler boss. He does absolutely nothing to me. I don't think he's offensive. I don't get annoyed by him or anything like that. I think the camera, depending upon where you are in the boss room, is absolutely scuffed to high heaven. It's okay. Like, it's fine. It didn't do much for me, though, but I also killed it rather quickly. It only took me like 4 or 5 pulls, I think. But yeah, Golden Hippopotamus is the prelude to the king. Yeah? Step aside and let the king come through. Messmer. There's a reason everyone ranks this guy in S tier. He's such a good fight. I don't know how I beat him in 37 minutes. I do not understand that. But good God, was it a lovely 37 minutes. His moves were fun to learn and to counter. He had a stagger window that felt good to me. And this fight, just on the whole, didn't have any fluff to it. I think it was perfectly paced. The visuals were an absolute spectacle. Like, in all the pre-release stuff leading up to the DLC with Messmer, this is the type of fight I would have wanted with him. And his Phase 2 is arguably one of the coolest Phase 2s we've ever seen. If I had any criticism for it, it's that one snake mechanic where he just, like, fills the entire room with snakes in Phase 2 is visual clutter, and I don't like that. It's easy enough to dodge, and, like, outside of that, to me, I think Messmer's one of the best fights in all of Elden Ring, let alone the DLC. Love that fight. Putrescent Knight is solidly mid. Inoffensive, it's cool. I did it rather late in the game. I think the arena's really cool, but if you die a few times to this guy, it is kind of annoying. You have to do the God of War dream on fall the entire time, like every dang retry. But the fight's really cool, and I love the fact that you could find Saint Trina there as well. I know that's not part of the boss fight itself, but yeah, I'm here or there on him. Commander Gaius is the worst fight they've ever designed, by the way. In fact, I'm adding an entire new rank for this. I think Bed of Chaos is a better fight than Commander Gaius. I think this fight is garbage in idea. Like, yeah, his hitboxes are bad. Even if they were good, though, I still think the fight is poorly designed. He's simply annoying. Like, that's all I can really say about him. All of his mechanics are just really annoying. And it's not like a fun type of difficulty either. Like I said, he's just annoying to fight. I'm not that big of a fan of fights you have to do on horseback, but even if you're not on horseback, this dude just moves around the place all the goddamn time, and I don't like fights where half the fight you're just spending it tracking it down. Horrid fight. I don't like that fight at all. Scadutree Avatar. I'm gonna go with a high B here. Some people love this fight. I don't agree. It also comes down to personal preference, where I just don't like fights that regen the full all the time, and he does it twice. He has 3 full health bars, so it's just a debate the entire time. And his phase 3, I don't like the one mechanic where he just does a giant explosion. I never like mechanics like that. I always think they're kind of lame. He's just a sunflower. Throw a bit of salt on him and I'll eat him, but just, it's okay. The mechanics that I don't like are balanced out by like rudimentary mechanics that I do kind of like. I think he has a good flow to him as well. The pace to this fight is arguably one of the better ones in the entire DLC. Getting to him is really cool, and for that, I put him in B. Romina, Saint of the Bud, the old Scarlet Rot Caterpillar, or I guess Centipede. I will say, the animations for this fight are world class. They're so good. So I'm gonna put it in B, in like middle of B in my opinion. It's not a hard fight, but fights don't have to be hard to be fun, and I think this is a fun fight. It's just, I wish there was a little bit more going on here, because you kind of just have the basic sword slashes that it does, or Romina will enhance it with Scarlet Rot, which is whoop-de-doo, or she'll do the moves where she summons the butterflies and you just gotta dodge them, and that's kind of it. You have that one move where she will stab you with a pincer to inflict you with Scarlet Rot. Okay. I like that one move she does, though, where she leaps up into the air and, like, sticks her stinger out and you have to dodge that. It's really easy, but it's cool. I think it's a solidly okay fight. I kind of rolled through this mostly. Didn't take me too long to get through it. But I like the fight. It's cool. Didn't blow me away or anything, though. Oh god, Metyr. Okay, I know some people love this fight. I don't. To me, it's like Golden Hippo tier. This is a fight that when I first started it, I thought it'd be way harder than it actually ended up being, because it ended up being basically Rom the Vacuous Spider 2.0, and if you know, you know. I am never a fan of fights that just summon ads, but also the mechanics that Metyr does have are okay, and they don't really do much for me. Just dodge the fingers wiggling at you, and then you have the phase 2 transition where she'll just like jump up in the air and you have to like dodge all the mechanics that she throws out. Again, I never like mechanics that are like that, where it's just, okay, bullet hell time. I think Metyr is solidly okay. You have that really obnoxious run up to her as well. The model is really cool though, I'll give it that. The model and the room you fight her in are great. I wouldn't call her a bad fight by any means. I think the only bad fight I've had is Gaius, but I don't look at her as fondly as most of the other fights. Midra, Lord of Frenzied Flame, is in contention for one of the coolest fights in the DLC, but the DLC is filled with really cool fights. I really like Midra. He's a great fight in my opinion. The initial phase 1, every time you do it, is a bit annoying when you gotta fight the little guy on the floor trying to like claw at you. But funnily enough, I weirdly struggle with this guy more than other people I think. But it was a good battle between me and him. I was role-playing as like Ronnie's consort and all that. I had the Dark Moon Greatsword, so you know, like fire versus ice. It was just a great aesthetic, a great vibe. The mechanics were mostly fine, and it fit like him being the Lord of Frenzied Flame. He was just a really cool fight. The visuals were S tier, the location S tier. It was just every now and then I got a little annoyed at him, and I'm not a fan of loss of control elements like Madness, but it was fine here. So for me, it's like an easy A tier. Great fight. Okay, Bayle the Dread, let's just not have any pretense here. That's an S tier fight. I'm a firm advocate, by the way, this fight was designed with Egon in mind, because it's so much better with him, and it's so much cooler. There's a reason this dialogue has been referenced so much. Bayle the Dread is a really cool fight. You have this severely injured dragon, but it's still super fast, it's vicious, every animation has impact behind it, and I loved how it's using its own magic and power to regrow its limbs, but like a fiery version of them. Like the wing transformation in phase 2, it's so clean. It's so good. I think it's one of the better dragon fights they've ever done, because they really leaned into Rule of Cool with them, and just said, okay, how do we make this as cool as humanly possible? We can make this fight really hectic, but also we're kind of incentivizing you to summon Egon, and I think that really worked for this fight. Okay, the big controversial fight of the DLC. Let's rip the band-aid off Radahn. The final fight, yeah, it's a reused guy at least, but I think he's different enough. And I like the throwbacks to his original fight. Radahn is an interesting one, because I think phase 2 is really bad. Having said that though, it's like low A tier for me. I do not like phase 2. I think phase 2 is poorly designed. It's not even like that hard, it's just fast and it's filled with visual clutter. Like you not only have his cape, you have Mikola's hair, but you also have a darkened environment with the lighting AoEs being extremely bright and like clogging up the screen. He has some mechanics that are just wildly annoying that act as almost as if he like flipped a lag switch. And I would argue this is going a little bit too fast for this gameplay loop. He's perfectly doable, like I did kill him, but the reason I'm not ranking him lower is 2 reasons. 1, I love Phase 1. Phase 1 is great, but also the environment you fight him in is amazing. I love the location. The music is great, but also the feeling of when I killed him. When I beat Radahn, it felt good. And I wasn't thinking about how annoying Phase 2 was, or how fast it was, or anything like that. I had a really down-to-the-wire nail-biter of a kill, and it just felt good to kill him. Like, that's going to be a boss kill that I'm always going to remember, and I'm going to remember it fondly. Don't know if I would ever want to fight him again, but I'm really glad that I did fight him once. I will say, I kind of think if you just remove his AoEs from his sword slashes in Phase 2, it'd be a better fight. Like, there's just too much going on, and the visual clutter is wildly annoying. I do not like that, but good god, I still like the fight on the whole. His remembrance sucks, though, I'll say that. Which is a bit of a common theme in this DLC. Like, most of the remembrances are, like, solidly okay to me. There's a couple standouts, like the Metyr staff is nice. Lets you use both sorceries and incantations, that's cool. I think most of them are solidly okay though, or just, they didn't really impress me all that much outside of Messmer and Rellana. But with that, I'm gonna call the video there for the day. Thank you all for tuning in. That's my tier list for the bosses, at least the major ones, of the DLC Shadow of the Erdtree for Elden Ring. Let me know what you think in the comments down below though. Yeah, what's your own personal ranking? Let me know, I'd love to hear your thoughts and hear your opinions and to hear your perspectives. Stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye everybody. Until we meet again!